Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today on Monday to do one of our famous double headers. This video was mentioned to us by none other than the leader of the Wolfpack himself, Mr. Thomas. The name of the band is Wolfanger, which is pretty much... You said it to me before we started the video.
Yeah, Wolfanger is just Thomas whenever there's out of ice cream.
Which, I don't want to see his face when that happens.
Oh, I want to say...
I don't want to see that anger.
I want to quarantine myself 6 feet apart.
At least.
At least 6 feet apart.
At least, with a hazmat suit.
It doesn't matter even if there's no corona. You have to be 6 feet apart of him when there's no ice cream.
At least you have to have a 6 feet lead if you're going to run away from him. I agree with you. Imagine him without ice cream. Holy shit.
Imagine...
It's violent.
Oh,
it's violent.
That's a nightmare. Imagine you having the last ice cream and he just glances at you.
And he goes into the fridge, sees you eating it, goes into the fridge,
and there's no more.
And the box is empty, which is normally something you do. You leave an empty box in the fridge. I don't know why. You're afraid of recycling. You're allergic to it. But you leave the empty box there. Imagine that. And he goes like this, and nothing comes out of it.
Another man's trash is another man's treasure. I don't know if that's a saying.
It is a saying, but it does not apply to ice cream.
I didn't know if that was the saying, but yeah.
It is a saying, but it doesn't apply to this. Now, having said all of that, before we click play on this video, I just want to mention one thing. The last video from Wolfheart that we did, there was some Ukrainian there, and we thought for some weird reason that was Thomas singing in Ukrainian. I mean, I thought maybe because of the pandemic.
He's just adding to his resume.
Yeah, like he bought Rosetta Stone and he's learning different languages. Like, he wants to be the leader of the pack in different territories. He's like Ludacris with all the hoes in the different area codes. But with him is wolves.
There's different wolves, yeah.
He's got different packs in all the different area codes. So it turns out the guy who sang on that track is from this band. So we're kind of going full circle here.
The wolves collaborated.
Yeah, it's a pack. They hunt together. They're not solitary dudes. They hunt together in a pack. It makes them stronger. All right, the name of the song is Hunter and Prey. Well, speaking of hunting together, I mean, now we're really going full circle on this. Are you ready to check this out?
Yeah.
All right, I'm really excited to see what this has in store for us.
Yeah, so, another wolf band to add to our repertoire.
On that note, there's another band called Wolf Chant.
Really?
I'm starting to think that all of them should do a collaboration, at least a tour.
When the tour called Wolfpack.
Wolves over Europe, something like that, and all the bands. And well, if you want to add to that, add Powerwolf. Add Powerwolf into the mix. Wow, that would be quite the lineup. Anyways, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I was not expecting that
Yeah.
at all. At all. Like, my mind was going in a completely different direction as far as the vocals, the sound, everything is concerned. Okay, what's your take on
I
it?
thought this was gonna go more Wolfheart area, because I mean they did collab, so I'm like, okay.
I even thought it was going to be in Ukrainian.
I thought it was also, yeah. You know what?
I mean, even though the name of the song is in English, that doesn't mean anything. You could still throw some Ukrainian slang.
jabs in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is like Ukrainian Insafarum, like.
I was going to give you a slow clap, but I don't want to take too much time with the video, so I'm just giving you... The first thing that I thought when the song started, it's like, man, this has some heavy Insafarum vibes. Perhaps not as folky as Insafarum,
But it still has...
but it still has like a huge influence, even in the style of the vocals.
In the style of the vocals and the guitar melodies were very folky, and they had that Insafarum drive to them.
Yeah, but even the vocals sound a little bit like Petri. You know, if Insafarum, if anything ever happens to Petri, I hope not. Fingers crossed, I love the dude. But if they need a guy in a jam to kind of help them out, this dude, the similarities are uncanny.
Yeah.
Unreal. I'm glad that you went there, because that was the first thing that I thought was like, holy shit, these guys are like the Ukrainian Insafarum. Like I said, I don't feel like they are, at least not in this song, as folky.
They're not as folky as Insafarum,
but still,
they got that DNA.
They do. And in a couple of moments, the way the guitar melody sounds, the actual sound of the guitar, the melody itself has this kind of like singing around the bonfire kind of feel to it.
I get that from almost every Insafarum song, is singing around the bonfire.
Yeah, and this track kind of has a little bit of that vibe as well. I felt like when it got to the chorus, it became super hooky and melodic, and you kind of got even more of a vibe. But I also like the fact that they added some chunkiness to the guitars. That riff there, like, it was just like meaty.
But the guitar overall was really, really nice, especially with the Insafarum kind of vibe of the melodies sounding very folky.
I really dig this. Like I said, I was not expecting this.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this.
I was expecting like Wolfheart in Ukrainian. That's kind of like what I was going with, which
I
would have been a bad thing either.
Yeah.
That probably would have been a badass thing to hear too. But wow, I love this. A little bit more folky, Insafarum vibe, like great vocals, like just raspy enough that adds heaviness to the song, but I still understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, I love that dynamic. I actually really enjoy the tone of his voice. It sounds a little bit like Petri, so I really like the tone of his voice. It adds a little bit to the catchiness of the track. Wow, the nice melody changes between the verses and the chorus, adding that chunkiness right after the chorus, bringing in a little bit more chunkiness on the guitars, a little bit more meaty. The only thing I wasn't a huge fan of was the guitar solo. I wanted a little bit more of something a little bit bigger.
You thought it was too... you wanted it to go over the top a little bit more.
Yeah, you don't want to know why? Because I felt that the song... the song had a formula, had a pathway. You got versus chorus, solo, versus chorus, the song is over. So there's a sense of repetition as you're going through the song, because
And the song is very tame.
it's very tame. Like it doesn't pull you in different. Like, there's a path. After the first time that you go through the chorus, you kind of know what's happening next. You kind of get a feel for where this song is going to go. There's not going to be any surprises down the road. And the solo that they went with, it's a solo that kind of pulls a little bit of the melody that the track already has throughout the verses and the chorus. So it kind of just repeats itself, but in a different format.
Yeah, and it's still very controlled. You're taking...
It's very tamed.
Yeah.
It's not really like... It's not letting loose.
Yeah.
It's not letting loose. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's basically everything that you were getting throughout the song, the solo, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, they're serving you a steak, but instead of fries, they're giving you mashed potatoes. Do you see what I'm saying? It's slightly different, but still potatoes. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the same. So I wanted the solo to kind of break the mold of what was happening, to break the mold of the repetition, go completely off the reservation, if you will, completely off, a little bit over the top, more melodic,
and then
stretch out, and then come back to, because that would give you a sense that it would break the song a little bit. It would break
so
the
then the rest
routine
of the song
of the
wouldn't
song.
feel as a repetition of the first part.
Exactly.
It would be, but
it would be, but it wouldn't give you that
wouldn't feel...
perception, because the solo kind of
took you
away from it, and then the song then brings you back again.
Yeah.
But the way it's put together right now, it starts to feel a little bit, I hate to say monotonous, but it starts to feel a little bit predictable. Because you kind of feel like, okay, I know where this is going. I know where this is going. And you're kind of like spinning your wheels on it. And then the solo comes and it doesn't really change your perception of the track. Everything just kind of stays the same. Yeah. So if the solo was over the top, a little bit more elaborate, a little bit more melodic, a little bit more bombastic, even if you want to go as far as to call it like old school classic heavy metal style solo.
Which they could have done, I mean.
They could have done that. It would have broken the track a little bit. It would have given you a chance to reset. And then when the song goes back again into that mold, you don't feel like you heard it all before. You feel like, oh, it's kind of like new and fresh again. So that's the only thing. Besides that, I love the track.
Yeah.
From beginning to end. And what a nice surprise, I must say. Anything else you want to add?
I think we've...
To Wolfanger?
No,
I hope we didn't anger anybody by our comments, but hey, it is what it is. I'll just throw some ice cream their way. Maybe they like ice cream too.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like if you're a band with Wolf in it, you have to like ice cream.
Even Powerwolf? You think they like ice cream?
Probably.
All right. I don't know. I've never met the guys, so I don't know if they like ice cream or not. Maybe that's a thing with wolves. Ice cream is their thing. On that note, guys, don't go anywhere. Come back soon. Keep refreshing. There's another video. That's the reason why this is a Monday doubleheader. There's another video coming right after. See you guys.
See ya.